Purple world, party on, excellent. Woo, woo, woo. All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Purple Podcast. This is your host, Austin Eisman. Hope you're doing well there today. Give me a second here.
Hey, look at this guy.
Joining me, as always, in the booth, my co-host, Griffin and Mike Fletcher. Welcome, fellas. We got a good one today. If you couldn't tell already, it's going to be Wayne's World. The Sad Sacks are back. This time reviewing the 1992 SNL sketch-derived cult comedy classic Wayne's World, starring Mike Myers in his feature film debut, Dana Carvey and Rob Lowe. Join us as we discuss our favorite characters, scenes, themes, and things, and answer the eternal question, is this movie better with Nicolas Cage? Fellas, how we doing today? Bright and early once again for Griff. How we doing?
Ooh, man, I'm doing all right. I'll tell you what, it's been over 2 weeks at this point. We are approaching 3 weeks. And let me tell you, 3 weeks in another city, you start getting used to it. So 5 a.m. feels a lot more like 5 a.m. right now than it has the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're getting conditioned, eh?
I'm getting conditioned. And our show just started yesterday, actually, and it was a long day. I won't kid you. And tonight it's going to be even longer. We basically go from 7:30 to 5 at the booth, and then we go to the Hofbrauhaus, a big dinner place, from about 6 to 10.
Ooh, that's a
as
fun
I
place.
Understand it. Oh, yeah, we're going to...
Some German lagers?
Yeah, I'll probably like the drink I'm drinking. It's going to be in one of those big old... big, huge mugs.
They come in pints?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's going to come in a big old pint. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to be feeling it probably tomorrow. So playing it easy. That's why I thought today would be a good day to get this recording in, man. So happy to see you boys.
Yes, sir. When you getting back in town? Is this the last week?
This is the last week. It's going to be, I believe I get back into town next Tuesday, actually.
The end is
so
near.
Basically the show ends Saturday, and then we have a few days of teardown, and then they ship our asses back.
Damn. Good for you, Griff.
Very good.
Good for you, buddy. Hey, I hadn't seen this movie, Austin, and I guess I saw this when it first came out. I probably watched it on Roadrunner video or something. And it's crazier than I thought. I text both of you guys and said, this thing's insane. I mean, it's dated. You could tell Mike Myers, this is one of his first. I mean,
first. It's his feature film.
It is his first. Okay.
Yeah, first movie ever.
Obvious. I mean, he didn't have the swing, like he did in Austin Powers, but you can see, to me, and I'm sure you'll talk more about
in this one.
Yeah.
Swing.
You see so much of Austin Powers in him in this movie. So I really enjoyed that. And I also thought it was kind of funny how they kept, and maybe this is one of the first movies that's done this where they're, hey, here's Pepsi, here's, Pizza Hut, here's Reebok Doritos, and so on. So
I will not bow to any sponsor.
Yeah. It was great. Yeah. And I think somewhere along the line, they must have done tidy whities because that dude was walking around with those off.
Fruit of the Loom.
Golly.
Yeah, well, this was my pick, and my reasoning for picking it is it's such a feel-good movie for me. Yes, it's idiotic. It's stupid as hell. But, Nicolas Cage in a lot of ways, that's a lot of what we love about Mike Myers. A lot of Austin Powers is in this. Sketch comedy is his go-to. It's his prowess, and a lot of that is on display in this, and that's so much fun. These two characters, Wayne and Garth, are iconic characters in cinema. There's, obviously the Bohemian Rhapsody scene, which we'll talk about a little bit later, but that's one of the most recognizable scenes in any film, really, which is crazy to say, but I don't think is really that much of a stretch. It is a iconic scene, and that song being used in it is, Mike Myers really had to fight for that, and it shows, it really paid off, I would say. But I just love this one. It's goofy as hell. It's a lot of what we love about Austin Powers. It just makes me it makes me want to make a goddamn movie because you don't see shit like this today either. You know, it's such lighthearted, goofy fun that it's hard to find that today. You know, everything's so damn dramatic and serious for the most part. And, you know, the comedies ran up through the 2010s, but we've even said they've, you know, it did go up to there, but it's been gone really since then. I don't think we really have seen anything in terms of a return to that. And, you know, the money that would go into making a comedy, I guess people just don't want to do it anymore, which is a shame, but hopefully at some point and we can get our sense of humor back and movies like this can exist again, something made on a $20 million budget. Like we said, I don't know if a $20 million budget movie exists today, really. It's not part of the world. So I love this one. I'm going to have some more things to talk about in terms of things I like and everything like that. But let's do our little log line, a nice, quick, and easy one today as well. 2 slacker friends try to promote their public access cable show. And that's basically it. That's the premise of this. This movie's directed by Penelope Spheris. She doesn't do the second one. I actually watched the second one for the first time ever last night, which was a lot of fun. Apparently there was some beef between her and Mike Myers. Nothing big, but I think creative differences. And ultimately, I think Mike Myers pushed to have someone else direct the next one. It's written by Mike Myers and I think these two Turner, maybe they're married. I can't remember exactly what their name is, but Mike Myers writes both of these. He writes Austin Powers. And you feel it because also what I did and kind of lead up to this is I watched a lot of the original sketches from SNL, which were a blast watching those. If you haven't done that yet, it would make you appreciate the movie a lot more. And in ways that I think this movie, not going to say failed, but some things that I would have liked to see more of was actually them just doing the show, right? You know, you honestly don't get too much of them doing this show. And watching those sketches really kind of fed that hunger that I had or was kind of feeling from this when I was trying to examine it and things that were left out. Obviously, it's SNL derived. This is produced by Lorne Michaels, starring Mike Myers, Dana Carvey, Rob Lowe. $20 million budget, $183.1 million this thing grossed at the box office. It was the 10th highest grossing film of the year. Wow. Rates pretty well, probably in the range of what you'd think. 7 out of 10 on IMDb, 79% on Rotten Tomatoes, 3.6 on Letterboxd. Pretty middle of the road, everything there. This is also A River Runs Through It year. Mike wins Oscar for cinematography. So, guys, if you haven't seen that one, we got a full-length episode on that as well that's out there. But shit, should I just keep on rolling? I guess it's my movie, so I'll do the things I like and the things I don't like here, and we'll just keep on kicking it. Let me do it.
He'll do it anyways, won't he, Dad?
Well, absolutely.
You know how it goes. I mean, I gotta get. It's my movie, so it was my pick
I'm just
here.
kidding.
But here I am on the big screen
Wayne.
talking to you. Things I like: Mike Myers and Dana Carvey, Wayne and Garth, iconic characters. Without them, it's really hard to imagine this movie works. But they're so great. All the little, yeah, excellent. All of that is just top-notch stuff. The facial expressions, the jokes, the catchphrases galore. He shoots, he scores. It is nonstop funny, man, with those ridiculous sayings and the facial expressions.
Game on!
Game on! It's lighthearted, goofy, funny. It really, really, especially in goddamn the shitstorm of a world it seems like we're in today, man. This just feels like a much simpler time, even though there was its own shit going on. I think that's just how it works. You always think that the present you're in is the craziest time on earth, but shit, you go back to 92, I'm sure there were plenty of atrocities going on as well, just kind of how it is. But it felt like a lot simpler times then as well. Not everyone was so tapped into goddamn everything. But I just love that this movie exists. It's just a very, very fond thing to look back on and continue to watch. The suburbs outside of Chicago, I love that kind of like small towny feel with it. I think that's really fun element of it. The supporting cast, the cameos, it's filled with them. We'll talk some of that as we go along as well. Rock and roll and babes. But things I didn't like, obviously I think the story is a bit ridiculous, in some of the cohesion and the pacing. If we really want to get into the nitty gritty, it's pretty scattered. It's sketch comedy. So it feels like a lot of sketches put together, but it does become a movie at the end. I mean, they didn't even have an ending that they really wanted to go to, so we got 3 of them. So that's a bit of that just kind of sketch comedy element with it. We get a Scooby-Doo ending, goddammit. But a couple other things, and this is just reaching here, is that, this movie's begging for like a bowling alley scene. And I cannot believe I cannot believe these guys don't smoke a little grass either. It makes no sense that they're not out there smoking as well. That's not part of their kind of their world. But altogether, I'm giving this one a 4.5 stars out of 5. I love this movie. It's not an impeccable movie. I'm not going to give it a 5, which hurts a little bit, but it is a very sentimental movie to me, and 4.5 feels pretty damn appropriate.
Yeah, I like that. Look at my dad. He's freaking out.
Yeah,
he can't take it. What you got, Dad?
He's gonna tell us about a good year and how great that fucking movie is, isn't he?
Gosh, damn, Austin.
Russell Crowe.
Austin, I agree. I like the cameos, the music. Of course, Bohemian Rhapsody was put back on the charts after this. Queen blew up after this.
Freddie had just passed away a little bit before.
Yes. They blew up. From what I had heard and the little that I read about this, that Freddie Mercury loved it. He thought it was awesome that they did this. So, who doesn't like a song Ballroom Blitz? I mean, that was great. Guys, remember that the late 80s, early 90s, that was Desert Storm, so, Austin, you're talking about bad times now. Shit, dude. I mean, we were watching World War potentially 3 at the time going on. So this kind of lightened the mood for us.
Even watching the sketches, there were times where they start talking about the Gulf War. So like shit was going on then too.
When you watch something like this and you two are like, what the hell, Dad, were you all doing in the 90s? Were you all that bored?
Mike's moment in time. Let's
watch something. I mean, Mike's moment. Good for you, Austin. But my point is this thing's so silly. It's so goofy. It was refreshing to have something it was so refreshing just to have something you could take your mind off. I mean, that was on all day long. I mean, it really played on your brain. So my rating on this, to get to that, Austin, I did not rate it as high. Maybe back in the 90s, I would have given it 3.5. I went with a 2.5. I thought it was a little silly. I thought it's
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it just was a little silly, a little goofy. But if you pin me down, that was it. Tia Carrera, she kind of does it for me. I could go with a 3.
Wow,
just because of her.
Couldn't have guessed that. First I heard of that. Mike's talking about.
First I heard of that.
Yeah. Oh, wow. All right, Chuckles, good. What are you thinking?
Well, I'll say this. Austin, I hadn't seen this movie in quite a while. I think the first time I watched it actually was with you a few years ago. So it was nice to kind of watch it by myself here. And especially after some long weeks here in Las Vegas, it was a good time. I would say that, you see the genius starting to form, the Mike Myers genius. You really do. You see his chemistry with Dana Carvey. You see all of those things coming together, and that's what makes the movie, like you said. It's Wayne and Garth. I mean, those are the best parts of the movie. There's some hilarious bits. I'm sure we'll talk about those, but I mean, I think for me, I agree. Some of the pacing would have been more of an issue for me, just because, it just kind of reminds you that what you're watching is kind of half-baked, in multiple ways. That's a great point about them not smoking, by the way, Austin. So I think that was a missed opportunity. No, I got to agree.
They were doing that behind the scenes. Had to be.
I mean, I see it kind of in the middle of your guys' opinions. I would rate this movie a 3.5 myself. I think that, it has cultural significance. There is cinematic significance to a movie like this, because I do think you could claim it kind of, you couldn't say it began the kind of maybe goofy comedy thread, but I mean, it is still, I think it's a great it's a great little moment in time to capture. And you guys know I love 90s music, 90s culture, all of that stuff. And
A lot of rock
I
and
think
roll
this
in
is
this.
this is a great little message in a bottle from that era. A nice little time capsule if you want to. And I definitely enjoyed it. There were some parts that got me laughing hard. And you definitely do see some of those expressions and you say, oh my God, that's Austin Powers right there.
Oh, yeah.
Or when he's dancing around in his underwear, moving his belly and doing all that crazy
Yeah,
stuff. It's like, oh my
he
God,
humps the
that's
mummy.
Austin Powers.
Going back to another
Yeah.
old bit, Egyptian Mike.
Hey, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got his underwear all up his crack, man. Jeez. They bring that
that's
bit
so
back a little
funny.
bit in the next one where they have like the whole premise of that one is like I guess Wayne is now living on his own place and he's trying to figure out, what he's going to do with his life to do something big. And he has a dream where an Indian takes him to see Jim Morrison in this desert. And Jim Morrison says he has to put on a concert and it ends up being Wayne stock that they're putting on. It's actually still pretty damn funny. I would rate that one a 3.5 out of 5 because obviously you can only get away with these same jokes so many times. And I think it's where like also like Austin Powers maybe runs its course by the third one where you don't need it as much. But in that one as well, he pulls the old, I fell over. He does that in Wayne's World too. So it's hilarious that he's like carrying over these sketches and these same bits. And like I said, if you watch the actual sketches from SNL, all the jokes that carried over their catchphrases.
Was Wayne's World an SNL sketch originally?
Yeah, it was many
was.
sketches. So like it was a reoccurring one that they would do. So it became a
that's
movie
great.
from that. There's also this whole like scene where in the second one where he's looking at a guy who has a very blue eye and a brown eye, and it's like exactly like the mole scene, where they're trying to avoid talking about it, but they're like, oh, I have a eye for that. And also like, oh, they get a contract. He's like, I'm going to cross my T's and dot my lowercase J's. So, yeah, man, it's a fun one. I don't really blame you. 2.5 that's just mean. That's just mean. Because it's funnier than a 2.5.
It is funny, man.
I mean, God, we gave fucking not a river runs through it, but we gave Song Sung Blue a 3, didn't I?
Yeah, God, Sung Blue. That was the worst movie we've reviewed, hands. That movie sucked. Man.
Yeah.
I was watching that movie in the theaters going, why the hell are we watching this movie right now? That's what took us out of the theaters. My dad screwed it up.
He buried us. Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Well, all right, we're going to hop into our favorite scenes here, and I'm going to kick it off.
Yeah.
I'm going to kick it
Do
off.
it.
The number one, and this is, I get it at points. The best scenes are probably front loaded in this thing. I love the intro scene, him kind of doing the run through of Wayne's World, going through his parents' house, like a very Ferris Bueller-like scene where he's talking you through his life as he's walking through his house. The Mirthmobile, and the best scene, and I think it's not even a question, is the Bohemian Rhapsody, right? Them in the car.
That's awesome.
I heard they had neck pain from doing all the headbanging, all the takes with that. But I love them just driving around town. That's where it's a very big vibe movie, right? You get into that small town, Aurora, outside of Chicago. You feel like you're very much living in this small town. Stan Mikita's fucking donut shop, that little diner they hang out at.
Man.
That's great.
That's cool.
You get to see Gas Works. And,
Yeah.
This is going into my second favorite thing is kind of I'd say the Stan Mikita's donuts. Excellent Munchables. And then they go over to Gas Works. You meet Stacy as well. If it's the head, I'm going to be really ticked off. And then the whole a gun on the gun rack. I don't own a gun. Not many guns that would necessitate a gun rack. Oh, so you don't like it. Okay.
Hey, you're going to lose me if you're not careful.
And Garth is great in the whole thing too, man. I mean, Garth might be we'll get to it later, but Garth is a very strong contender for best character just because of his just awkward nature, and his gaffes, man, they're top tier. They might even be better than a lot of the Mike Myers stuff. But Gasworks and Meatloaf as the bouncer right out front.
Yeah.
And they go in, and Garth has to go back out, and he electrocutes that dude and throws his shit around. But obviously, I think
he just shocks his monkey, shoots him like 5 feet
he
back.
does. Like, talk about shocking his monkey. Yeah, but a very close second favorite scene is when Wayne sees Cassandra. She's a babe. There's a wing. Or he does a wing. The looks, man. He does it. It's top tier. She will be mine. And the whole guitar, we didn't talk about the Fender Strat that kind of drive through. Live in the now, man. Garth yelling at him. Yeah, see, I'm getting you to laugh just talking through these. So they're pretty funny. Good. And then I'm going to go with my third favorite scene being the kind of maybe you wouldn't expect this one, but the I will not bow to any sponsor. I think that shit is hilarious, especially by the end of it when you see Garth and all the Reebok gear.
Yeah. Look like an OG.
That shit cracked me up. And then, my last one, I'll just say the Garth and Dream Woman scene, the Foxy Lady Jimi Hendrix when that kicks on.
That was cool.
He's walking around. So, man, those are some of mine.
Foxy.
Shit, I didn't zoom in on myself. All right, well, I'll get you guys.
You didn't zoom in.
That's all right. It's hard to remember to do it on myself. I'll send it to who wants to go first. Let's give it to Griffin because Mike's been an asshole.
Me? Foxy. Hey, man, I think my favorite scenes. Well, for one, I actually thought that the little cul-de-sac hockey scene, or I guess it's just like a little street hocky scene, that was awesome.
Game on.
Yeah, game on.
He shoots his cars.
Hey, you can tell that Mike Myers grew up in Canada because he can work that little hockey stick.
Yeah,
did y'all think about that at all? But
just a
no, I thought that was just fun because it's so silly and it just shows them as best friends.
I got my Black Hawks hat on here as well.
Hey, there you go.
And Garth has the mask on and his glasses on the outside of it.
Yeah, and Garth was funny, man. Like I even loved when Mike Myers, or I guess Wayne, walks out of that big production with Rob. What's Rob Lowe's character again? Is it
Benjamin Cain?
Benjamin.
Yeah,
Benjamin.
And he's a great asshole in this.
He does it so well.
When I saw Rob Lowe to begin with, I was like, "Oh my god!" I had no idea Rob Lowe was in this, so that cracked me up. But no, just like when Wayne walks out of the production, it's like, screw this, man, I'm done with it. And then they stick it on Garth, and he's just like.
And then later he's talking, I handled it pretty all right.
Yeah, I handled it. I thought that was so awesome. I love also how they had. You're right, Austin. It really is the vibes. Just the little like small town things they're doing. They go out and hang under the airplanes on the front of their hoods, just to feel the vibration of it all. And they go crazy.
Extreme
I love that. I love Gasworks because it reminded me of kind of just like the small town bar, small town music venue scene, and you see all of those types of people. There were a hell of a lot more pretty girls at Gasworks than where I was at. But yeah, I like, she's a babe. that's how he says.
If she was the president, she'd be Abraham Lincoln.
All of that stuff is really funny, man. And I love the when they're in the music shop and no stairway, man, no stairway, all of that. And I mean, that's baked into the culture. People in music shops still say that to this day. That's a huge thing among like the guitarist community.
It's got a hand on the pulse for sure.
Oh yeah.
It understands those undercurrents.
Well, like you said, even if it is a very silly movie, which it is, I think that there are a lot of very funny, undeniable moments of it. And it's not taking itself seriously. It knows that there's some pretty big gaps, obviously. I mean, my gosh. And I liked also, this will be my last one, I loved how he starts speaking Cantonese. with Cassandra. Like, that was pretty awesome. Like, you know, at first it's just he says one phrase and it's like, oh my God, he learned one phrase. Then he starts having like a full-on conversation with her where they're discussing like these actually complex topics and ideas. And it doesn't make sense, which makes it all the better.
There's a scene in the second one where her father comes to town and he's I don't know what the actor's name is, but he's from Everything, or he's in Everything Everywhere All at Once, the old grandpa in it. He's her dad, and they have a full-on like kung fu fight with swords, and he ends up like winning his respect. He's like, "You impressed me, Wayne." Like, and they're speaking in Cantonese in that too. So, the second one's really funny too.
That's
I was
awesome.
telling your dad before this, they're at a bar at some point in that one as well, and Garth is sitting at a bar having a conversation with somebody, and every time a girl walks by, he goes, "Swing!" And then at some point, like 3 pass at a time, and he goes, "Swing, swing, swing!" Like every time someone passes, he's doing it. So the second one, you know, it is tough, but they do level up some of the jokes in that one as well.
Oh my gosh.
Another thing to note, I guess, with the musical
funny.
scene, you know, Dana Carvey actually drums. He plays the drums.
I was wondering.
Yeah, because I didn't think of it when watching this, but I watched a sketch, and there's this sketch when Aerosmith comes on, and he's in the back playing drums, and it's like, dude, he's actually playing those. Like,
Yeah,
so I
he's
looked it
actually
up
doing
then,
it.
and so he did that whole like little rendition in the series where it kind of breaks into him just playing, which I thought was a really cool scene as well.
Mm-hmm. We got it. I don't know if you're going to do it, Dad, but let's let Dad go.
Let's
and then
see what he
I'll
covers.
Bring it up.
Mikey,
Let's do it.
Guys, you all took a bunch of mine, but
look at his.
let me start with the couple that did. Robert Patrick. We see him come in, and he's a police officer, and he walks up to the car and he says, "Hey, have you seen this boy?" And it's John Connor. You know?
That's great. The T2.
I loved it, man. And then he started kind of running, and you're like, "Oh shit, he's going to turn into that silver cat that chases him." Yeah, that was cool. I really liked the history lesson from Alice Cooper. You know, where he starts talking about Milwaukee.
He did
Milwaukee.
I loved it, man. You know, and then they're like, "We're not worthy." That's what I remember.
That's
guys.
one of their
We're
big
not worthy.
Yeah.
You know? And last but not least for me, and I don't know if you guys even know this, but there's a Laverne and Shirley skit where the guys, you know, they put the glove on the beer bottle.
Yeah, shots or whatever it is.
It reminded me of being a kid. You know, that was something that, you know, that would come on. That was basically the intro to Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah.
You know, kind of cool. Those were the big, you know, I like the Cantonese, you know, where he was saying all sorts of crazy shit. Yeah, that was wild. And then there was one, and I don't know if I don't want to mess this up, but I think it was Garth says the bass player makes me feel kind of funny down there. Yeah, like I'm in gym class climbing a rope, you know, or something stupid. It's so dumb.
Well, I like the Bugs Bunny line he has, and you can tell it really cracked Mike Myers. Like they might have been improvising that. He's like, were you ever attracted to Bugs Bunny when he dresses up as a girl? And he's like,
yeah, you can tell that was so.
He starts like
it was
literally
so
laughing.
weird that they both were like, yeah, you can tell that had to be improvised.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, Garth is great, man. I fucking love that guy.
He's so odd. He plays it perfect.
Another good scene is like when they go up to Benjamin's babe lair, right? And Garth goes back and is kind of looking around his room. He's like, find small public show and exploit them. I'd really hate to be those guys.
Yeah. He's so gone.
Rib for her pleasure. Ew. I'll have the cream of some young guy. And then he starts doing Cantonese.
That was good stuff, man.
People still use that today.
That's great.
Oh,
God, why does this keep doing full screening over here? I don't want to be. All right, we're going to hop into characters now, and I will zoom in on myself.
There you go.
Hey,
My favorite character It does hurt me, man. I want to say Garth in some ways, but it has to be Mike Myers. He's the mind behind this, but without Garth, it doesn't work either. But Wayne is just hilarious, man. You love following this guy. He's got a lot of jackassery, but he's got a lot of charisma within it as well. There, another thing that he carries over to his Austin Powers character. So pretty easy one, I think. At the end of the day, it's got to be Wayne for me. He's the guy. Six man, this one was a little trickier. I'm interested to hear what your else is because, I don't know if I would count, like I almost wanted to give this to Garth, but he's definitely on the court. He just is. He's the Pippin though. He's not six man.
Yeah.
Cassandra, I don't think she could count. I don't think you could do Benjamin either. Those are the main characters. So I'm actually going to give it to Officer Koharski on this one. I thought he was pretty funny. They make the whole like pig joke at the beginning. I do smell a pork product. Like, oh, I get it. And he never really cracks him too hard. He's actually a pretty cool cop. He can tell.
I get it.
Yeah, you could tell he likes them. And ends up helping them out in the end. And when he straps on that glove to examine Rob Lowe, because he gives you this line, he's like, "Yeah, I had to search them inside and out, all 12 of them." And they're like, and the fucking Phil about throws up. But later on down the line, he gets Rob Lowe, and I love when you see Rob Lowe getting out of his car. You get to see it 3 times, and he does that like waddle because he's just been excavated in his arse. But the final one. Sad sack here. I'm going to give it to Benjamin's monkey boy, Russell Finley. He comes around in the end, but throughout the entire thing, he is just a prototypical sack. So I'm giving it to Russell.
Russell. That's
Russell.
Good.
Send it your way, Griff.
Me? Okay. Well, I'll do it. I will take Garth as my main pick. I think he's funny. I mean, like you said, I think that partially why Wayne's character works so well, this kind of boisterous, incredibly confident, slacker type. I think partially why that works is because he has the counterbalance of Garth, just being this awkward guy that's still his best friend that kind of, brings you back to ground level a little bit too with all of his silliness and his shenanigans. And I think everyone knows someone like a Garth that you just find hilarious. He'd be the type of guy you'd be like, dude, my buddy Garth is the funniest dude around. You just got to know him. You just got to get to know him a little bit. And he is the funniest guy. So I think that he just does that so great. And, all of the little jokes that go by that you don't even pick up on. Even Austin, kind of when they're back, when they're on the hoods of the car or on the hood of the car the second time around. And he's like, hey, Benjamin's totally playing on Cassandra, man. He's totally into her. No, he isn't. What are you talking about? Oh, well.
Okay, pop quiz.
Example? Yeah, pop quiz. Is it because of his charming good looks?
Yeah.
His expensive
A, chicks thinks he's handsome. B, has a cool car. C, has lots of cash. D, has no visible scars. E, does not live with parents.
God, that's so awesome. I love that. My 6 man is actually the owner of the donut shop,
Glenn,
who has like the Vietnam flashbacks.
Yeah, Ed O'Neill.
Yeah, Ed O'Neill. I just think it's funny. He's like, did you know if you stab someone in the heat of winter or in the cold of winter, whatever, heat'll rise from their chest. They have a lot of Native American references. I don't know if y'all picked up on that.
There's a whole Native American in the second one too that like leads him around.
Yeah, you have Alice Cooper talking about what's he say, Milwaukee,
the Algonquin for the Great Place or something.
He does that, and then that guy says the Native Americans believed it was the soul leaving the body. Yeah. So I thought that was fun. You ever want to what does he say? He says he wants to smash someone's face in or something. And that other
when that other sack Davey who loses his job comes in, he's like, "No, I was just going to file a report at the union."
That's so awesome. In terms of sad sack, man, it's a little bit harder for me. I think maybe it could be the dude who's their buddy Austin who's just drunk all the time.
Oh, it's Phil. He's partied out.
Phil.
You're partied out, Phil.
I mean, he's just carrying around, man. I love how, you think he's going to puke when he's in the car and then he just starts headbanging with him.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. Dad, a question I have, because there are a lot of characters that I was recognizing from Adam Sandler movies, which makes sense because of the SNL tie. Mm-hmm. Dad, was Phil the cat in 50 First Dates who can't remember anything? After every 20 seconds, he loses his memory. Is that the same guy?
I'm not 100% certain. Griffin, if there was a cat in the movie, let's see if I can find who it was. He was the fella from Encino Man, the guy that played Alan. He's the one that punches Brendan Fraser right in the face. If you remember, and it's like an iconic scene where you're like, oh my God, he punched him. And he doesn't know any better because he's an Encino Man, It's just great. But no, to answer your question, I am not sure.
Well, Phil is my sad sack. So who you got, Dad?
Guys, I went with Garth as my favorite character. And the reason is there were some funny things that were said. He's Jim to my Marlon Perkins. I thought that was funny. If you all know who Jim is, that was Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom back in the day, guys. And, Jim was always the cat that had to go in and grab the snake, or he's the one, the famous line is, Jim will now put the snake in the bag. And, Marlon goes, hey, Jim's doing all the work. And then Marlon goes, I got it, Jim. And Marlon starts trying to put the snake in the bag. And then the snake starts pulling him down in the water. And Jim goes, Marlon's going to need a little help. So, it's just funny. You have to know that as a kid. And then I love the foxy lady. Oh my God, he was great in that scene. And, he always stands up for Wayne, even when he's kind of an ass, and like you said, they're buddies, kind of like sad sacks here, might be an asshole, but we'll stand up for one another. And then, women want you, to come and get them. That was that line, and he's like, he's just so shy and so goofy, man. God.
Well, before the end of it, and you see him end up with the dream woman, I was like, maybe that's like a subliminal message. Maybe he did it in an off screen. Maybe he did go and get her on the off screen. So he was talking with some juice.
Yeah, he might have had more game than we thought. Sixth man of the movie, Noah Vanderhoff was my sixth man of the movie.
Christmas
I just
Vacation.
like Brian Doyle Murray. I thought he was cool in it. He's Sphincter Boy. He blows goats.
The Sphincter says what?
This man has no penis. I mean, it was
cute
funny.
Cards.
He's like, I did real well. And his wife's like, oh, you did great.
Yeah.
He was so proud of himself. And it ended up making him real popular by being on Wayne's World, on the show. So I like that. Guys, sad sacks, Griffin, you missed or you talked about this. But, Ed O'Neill, Al Bundy, he's the sad sack. He worked 24 hours a day, like you said. He had to be. Guys,
oh my
Stacey's
God,
one hell of a sack.
Stacy. That'd have been a great pick.
Guys, Rob Lowe's one hell of a sad sack. He's left holding the snake. He got a cavity search. I mean, hell, we had to see him 3 times walking, with his. Yeah.
Old Man Withers is a sack as well.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Oh God, I
like the scene with Garth as well, where he's got like the robot hand, and that's just sketch comedy and it's purest. It's like that scene had no purpose aside from him just Rob Lowe coming up. He's like, oh, what do you think about the new spot? We fear change, and he starts beating on the hand. That's all that scene was. That was it. Just moved on. In the car scene as well, where he just right alongside the car. I think we should go now. That fucking guy.
That is good, man.
Oh man,
so dumb.
Very good. Themes and things. I'll kill it here. So we got.
Yep.
How about just Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody, rock and roll, heavy metal, head banging. The Mirthmobile, love that, riding around town. That's very of the era as well. Aurora, Illinois, just the suburbs outside of Chicago, all the Chicago kind of references, the Blackhawks, they got all that going on. Stan Mikita's breaking the fourth wall, huge part of it, of course. They're constantly talking to the screen. It's almost like a documentary, following these cats. Slang, catchphrases, awkward Garth, SNL, stupidity, goofy, Wayne's facial expressions, top tier. That's just Mike Myers in his purest form. Corporate pigs, phony, selling out. That's one of the biggest kind of real themes about it. The whole counterculture. Babe, swing, excellent. Yeah. Clinkies, fine wine. And how about Scanners? We get a Scanners reference in here. Yeah. Have you ever seen Scanners when the guy's head blows up? That's what Garth was about to do in that scene. They should have done it, with all the movie references. They should have just blasted his head off right then and there.
Oh, God. Good. What about his dog having the same haircut as him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What? Wayne was taken by aliens. Oh, Wayne's outside. I misunderstood you.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. Griff, any themes and things you got for us? Anything we missed?
Not really. I think you're right. I think it's just babes and just like, I don't know, kind of adolescent friendship. Because, I'm assuming these dudes are in their early 20s, but they just seem like a bunch of high schoolers, which is fun. And I think that they really faithfully kind of recreate that era of life, that just experience. And I think this is the type of movie where you can tap into this one and remember some of those feelings and some of those doings really easily. So that's fun. And again, you can't knock its cultural significance. You can't knock some of the most profound bits. I think it really does well for that. But I mean, those are the main things for me. Music too, counterculture.
The music is really it's good. It's a good portrayal. Oh, yeah. It's an ode to music in a lot of ways, rock and roll, and Cassandra kicks ass, and she's definitely a babe doing it. I mean, it's a great movie for music. I think this soundtrack actually ended up going number one or whatever it was on whatever board it would have been on. But yeah, it was people loved the soundtrack to this thing. Makes sense, too.
Heck yeah, man. What you got, Pops?
I just had three that Stacy alert. How about Excalibur and backstage passes?
Yeah, the backstage passes are
that
great.
Was awesome, man. The backstage passes.
They kept showing them. Yeah,
they just walk around like that.
I mean, and guys, you did that. You did that back in the day because you wanted everybody to see, hey, I got something you don't have.
Well, I love when they just break out into dance all the time. She's like, they just start breaking out into dancing. They're just hilarious. And that Feed My Frankenstein, I'm not like an Alice Cooper fan by any means or really listen to his shit, but that song was rocking in it.
Yeah, they're banging, man.
Yeah. We get Chris Farley. That's we haven't really talked about him. All the cameos in this, man. Like I said, Ed O'Neill's already a big name, but you got the T-1000, you got Meatloaf, you got Alice Cooper, Chris Farley. I mean, all those guys, big ass names. So it's fun that they get all those people involved in it. I don't know what this Carmen Felipe guy, Old Man Withers, what's he's from, but it looks like he's in some. He's in The Wedding Singer, so I guess he's just kind of one of those cats that they drag around and throw in the movie.
I thought he was Old Blue. I went back and looked, but it wasn't Old Blue from Will Ferrell movie. I kept going, it's Blue.
For some reason, they got Blue. Anthony Kiedis. Listen, I guess because there's a song of his in there. So
there's a Chili's when Wayne first gets Cassandra in his car and he says, let's play some tunes. Yeah. Because what song was he singing? I forget. He's like, let's sing. Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. My name's Mickey. Hey, Mickey. Yeah, that was definitely a Chili Peppers song though that he put on, probably from Mother's Milk if I had to guess. Yeah. But that was awesome.
All right, fellas. Now we move into our final bit here. And I guess I'll just lead this off. So, is Wayne's World better with Nicolas Cage? And I would say, how the hell is it not? Right? Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Not much to that question. Of course it is. But the question is, who is he? And I think there's a couple options that stand out, but I'm just going to give one since I'm leading off. I'm not going to ruin any thunder for you all. And if you don't mention it, I'll just wrap it up. But I'm going to go with Officer Koharski. I think that's who he's going to be. He's got a little small cameo role. He's the cop that they kind of like, but he's just a little off too. For some reason, he likes examining arses a bit too much. He gets, you see him, we get the scene of him strapping that glove down with old Rob Lowe Benjamin. So I think that's the guy I'm giving it to, Officer Koharski.
Fair. You know, I would have actually really liked to see Nick Cage as one of the... oh, there you go. One of the production cronies, you know, because I think it's really funny how they have like these 3 dudes that just come around with them who work on the show.
Yeah.
And obviously the one of them has the scanners line. The one of them starts hitting on that dude from Christmas. That's the dude from Christmas Vacation,
it is,
right?
Griffin.
That's the
Griffin,
boss.
that's Bill Murray's brother, Brian Doyle Murray.
Ah, that's it. Well, you know, you have the guy who starts hitting on his wife. He's like, your wife's a babe, dude. And he's like, oh, thank you. Yeah. But you have that guy, and then you have the guy who's like, I love you, man. You know, I think it'd be really funny
all
to
have
see
their
Nick
little
Cage.
bits, don't they?
Oh, yeah, it'd be really funny to see Nick Cage as one of those dudes. Like,
Probably appropriate
I was thinking,
age, too.
Yeah, I was thinking, you know, Nick Cage could be Benjamin, I think. And I think he'd do a great job. But do you really want to see Nick Cage as the tight ass?
I think
really.
Rob Lowe is great in that role, though. Like, Rob Lowe is perfect for it. He's such the, like, uppity, you know, I guess you could have did, like, an early Christian Bale, too, type character from, like, what the hell, the goddamn
American Psycho?
American Psycho, yeah. I think that kind of fits the mold, is what it worked for. Just a very clean-cut, handsome guy, like, corporate asshat.
Yeah, I'd like to see Nick Cage as one of the cronies with some long hair, just looking half stoned, like, hey,
yeah, that would work. It would work.
Excellent. You know, I think that'd be really fun. So I think he could do that, and I think it'd just be one of those things where you're like, damn, that's Nick Cage right there, man. Look at him.
He could be in Cassandra's band, you know, Crucial Taunt.
Oh, well, and like we always say, you know, any role that he would have been in, they'd have had to make it about 10 times bigger just to fit him in, man. Yeah. So, you know, that's my take.
Guys, you know, this is the first one that I have ever, I mean, I had nothing. I had nothing of who he could be. Don't get me wrong. The movie's better with Nick Cage. We know that. And as we're talking, he is Ed O'Neill in this movie. And we have to make this, we have to, again, if you're going to have a superstar, megastar like Nick Cage, you've got to make the role bigger. So my God, he has his own where he's singing, he's dancing, he's doing something. Remember, this cat was in Valley Girls, guys.
You know,
this guy was in Valley Girl. So if anybody can be like, hey, dude, hey, man, you know, any of that, you know, he can do it. He can have the hair in his chest. I mean, he can do it all. So I'm going to go with that he's Ed O'Neill's character and that we give him a little bit more juice.
Juice.
Maybe instead of T-1000, it's Ghost Rider who walks up on Mike Myers' car. He looks down and it's just fucking Ghost Rider.
Yeah. Oh my! Ghost you know what, Austin? This would have been a great question for Nick Cage if we had him on today. Is, hey man, you know this movie Wayne's World? Who would you play? I mean, I would love to hear his take and see what
who's going to bite the bullet and say who's going to bite the bullet and pick Ghost Rider as their movie.
Yeah, oh God, yeah, not me.
Oh my God! Hey,
maybe Halloween time next year or something.
Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Ghost Rider. I love that movie. You know I love that movie. Hey, man, if we're here to bash on Nick Cage, shit, I'll fight both of you right now. One arm.
That's awesome.
We do need a movie with Nick Cage and Mike Myers. I don't know if it exists. We need one.
I don't think it does exist.
That's a lot of personality, though.
Yeah, that's a lot of craziness.
There's a whole lot of personality. Hell, they'd be fighting off screen is what would happen.
Yeah, that
might be the real movie, just being
movie, yeah.
I can tell you this. If we had to put bets, Nick Cage is whooping that ass.
Yeah.
Nick Cage is taking little old Mike Myers down. He's going to whoop his ass.
What's he going to do with that judo chop? He's not going to have much to counter that.
Sounds like Wayne knows kung fu as well.
He ends up with a samurai sword in that scene. It's great, man. They're flying around. It's like Fat Bastard doing the flips, in the.
Oh my god!
Golly, that's bad.
What an idiot.
That's bad.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. I think we'll call this one a quits. That was a fun one. Love this movie. Glad to get it in. Been wanting to do it since we started, honestly, because it is just
nice.
It's just one of those movies. It's a pretty polarizing one. It's goofy as hell, but that's a lot of the fun. And I would definitely recommend checking out some of the sketches. And like I said, I think that's where maybe the movie could have done better at, is maybe we get a little more of them actually being in the Wayne's World show and the actual, the production that they're doing. But I guess because that already exists, it wouldn't have made a lot of sense to spend a lot of time there. Maybe it'd just been too redundant to be spending the money in that way. But yeah, love this one. I'll send it to you guys for your goodbyes and we'll get on out of here.
Hey, I had a lot of fun, guys. I got the sun peeking through my window right now, and it's looking beautiful. And, just really appreciate y'all. I'm so happy we've been able to make this work, even while I'm away from home. We've been having a blast. So, yeah, man, let's just keep it rocking. Wayne's World, got to give it up to it no matter how silly, no matter how crazy. It was innovative, and it was fun, man. So, especially introducing Mike Myers to the big screen. That's a huge deal. I mean, Mike Myers, he's up there, man. For a movie like Austin Powers, how could he not be? So, love you boys. Purple Podcast all the way. You know it already. We're pushing hard. We're pushing good, kicking ass, and having fun, man. So that's what the name of the game is.
Yes, sir. Mike, let us know what's up next. It's your pick.
Absolutely. Thanks, Austin. I was just getting ready to ask you. Guys, just know, for those of you that have watched this long, obviously, we will review any movie. I mean, we're even talking about Ghost Rider. I personally love it. We're doing anything from Wayne's World to Song Song Blue to Marty Supreme. I mean, we'll do a Wes Anderson movie. We'll do anything.
Fantastic Mr. Fox still needs to get on here. That's how.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like a fuck. I always think every time you say that silly song.
God.
Guys, we are going to do a classic, guys. We are getting ready to do The Godfather. I cannot wait.
Podfather.
The boys get an opportunity to see the best of the best. I mean, we get to see Al Pacino, Bob Duvall.
Alpa.
No, not Alpa. Al Pacino.
We're getting some booty sweat in this?
Marlon Brando. I mean, guys, Abe Vigoda. The list goes on and on and on. I just want to give you a couple quick ones. It's not personal, Sonny. It's strictly business. I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse. Just remember, we're going to have so many great lines from this. You guys, this is probably going to go down as your all's favorite movie, boys. So I cannot wait for y'all to get educated on this one. This is a classic, boys.
We're going to have to tell Mike to stop quoting the enther movie again.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to stop. I really don't. I'm just telling you now.
Chowder head up. Chowder. But let's get on out of here. Guys, back home, if you've listened all the way through, thank you very much. We appreciate it always. Keep spreading it around. Keep doing what we can. The Purple Podcast is, in a lot of ways, like Wayne's World. We're trying to blow this puppy up, right? We'd love to get paid for this thing. And monkeys might fly out of my butt. So I'll leave you with that. Thank you guys always. Love you. We'll be talking to you soon. And bye-bye.